Hey, want to see something cool? Look up at the night sky. Every tiny point of light you see is a star, and behind them are countless more you can't see. Now imagine this. What if the universe doesn't just go on for billions of light years? What if it goes on forever? It sounds amazing. But an infinite universe comes with strange, unsettling, and downright paradoxical consequences. Today we're going to explore what infinity really means for our universe, and why it might break your brain. What does infinite really mean? When scientists say infinite universe, they don't mean just really big. They mean that space has no edge, no center, and no limit. If you traveled in any direction forever, you'd never hit a wall. And in an infinite space, there would be an infinite number of galaxies, stars, and planets. But here's the first paradox. If it's infinite, then everything possible must happen somewhere, including exact copies of you. Let's dig a little deeper. Everything in the universe is made of particles, and those particles obey the laws of physics. That means there's a finite number of ways that matter can realistically be arranged. You might think that number is pretty high, and it is, but compared to the real number of possible arrangements, it's still finite. The universe is infinite, though those arrangements will repeat. That means somewhere unimaginably far away, there's another Earth, exactly like ours. On that Earth, there's a version of you watching this video right now. Go far enough, and you'd find infinite copies living every variation of your life, from the tiny differences to the wildest what-ifs. This is the Doppelgänger Paradox, and it gets weirder. Let's say you decided to take a trip to some far-flung star system. The trouble is, by the time you get there, you'll find that your trip was actually pointless. Because in an infinite universe, there's another version of you who has already visited that star and decided it was unworth going to. That means no matter what choices you make, you're doomed to repeat them, over and over again, infinitely. But wait, there's more. Some versions of you have already died in horrible ways, like being eaten by giant space worms. But since the universe is infinite, you could be on your way to worm food right now. As trippy as it sounds, this is called the heat-death paradox. According to physics, the universe began in the Big Bang and will end when it reaches heat death, a state where all energy is evenly spread out and nothing changes. But we don't see evidence of this in our corner of the cosmos. We see stars burning, galaxies colliding, and planets forming. Our universe seems to be getting more complex, not less. One conclusion: the universe isn't infinite. We might never see the heat death of the cosmos, because it lies beyond the edge of reality. Or maybe there's a multiverse, a set of infinite universes, each with its own particular physical laws. In that case, there could be an infinite number of infinite universes, each running its own course to heat death. Then we wouldn't just be stuck reliving the same life over and over again, but the same life in an infinite number of realities. There's also the problem of probability. In an infinite universe, any event with a non-zero probability will happen an infinite number of times. If the probability is very low, like winning the lottery, then it won't happen very often. But as probabilities approach 50/50ths, they become inevitable. So in an infinite universe, there would be other versions of you who did win the lottery, became world famous, and experienced the rarest of coincidences. By definition, anything that can happen will happen. If the laws of physics allow it, there will be a planet where dinosaurs never went extinct. Another where cats ruled the world and humans are extinct. A third where everything is made of cheese. In short, a universe where physics works the way we think it does would quickly descend into chaos. So either physics doesn't work that way, or our corner of the cosmos isn't infinite. Then there's Olbers Paradox, which people thought about long before modern astronomy. This is the question. If the universe is infinite and full of stars, why is the night sky dark? Here's how it works. In an infinite universe, every line of sight should eventually hit a star, which means every point in the sky should be as bright as the sun. But we don't see that. We see mostly darkness, dotted with dim stars. One solution: the universe isn't infinite. The light from distant stars simply hasn't had time to reach us yet. According to Einstein's theory of special relativity, nothing can travel faster than light. So the farthest we can see is back to the beginning of the universe. It's a Big Bang. That means the night sky tells us our universe isn't infinite in time as well as space. It had a beginning. But what if it's not a question of time? What if the reason the night sky is dark is because stars fade as they age? If the universe is infinite, every star should be shining as brightly as it did in the Big Bang, but they aren't. That means something's fundamentally wrong with the idea of an infinite universe. Either the laws of physics are different somewhere else in the cosmos, or the universe is really finite, or both. Then there's the problem of infinite speed. The speed of light limits how far we can see. The observable universe is about 93 billion light-years across. It's not because that's all there is, but because that's all we've had time to see since the Big Bang. Beyond that, we don't know. It could end, or it could go on forever. But if it does go on forever, what's out there? What if there's an infinite number of universes? That's a possibility, according to some theories, like string theory, which requires extra dimensions of space in addition to the 3 we experience every day. In this view, our universe is just one bubble in a vast multiverse, each bubble with its own particular physics and history. If that's the case, then the rules of infinity change. There could be an infinite number of infinite universes, each one completely separate from the others. For example, in one bubble, the laws of gravity could be reversed, while in another, there could be 4 spatial dimensions instead of just 3. Maybe one of these alternate universes is exactly like ours except without you in it. Or maybe it's a place where you never stopped believing in Santa Claus. The possibilities are truly endless. But if that's the case, it raises another paradox. How do we know our universe is infinite? After all, if there are an infinite number of other universes, we could be on the outside of a bubble looking in. The short answer is we do and know, and we might never be able to prove the universe is infinite. The light from beyond the observable horizon may never reach us. Infinity might be a truth we can only guess at, not one we can ever measure. In fact, most physicists don't like infinities in their equations at all. They often mean something's gone wrong. An infinite universe forces us to rethink probability, causality, even the meaning of uniqueness. If everything happens, then nothing matters. Well, that's not entirely true. Even in an infinite universe, some things don't happen. It's like the time I high-fived a walrus and told it to keep on swimming. I don't remember if that happened in this universe or another, but the memory feels very real. And that's the thing about infinity. Even if it's true, we can only understand it by imagining it breaking down. It forces us to confront the biggest questions we can ask. How big is reality? And why is there something instead of nothing? Maybe it's better if we never get all the answers. Just knowing we coo and wrap our minds around infinity makes us appreciate how special our corner of the cosmos really is. So keep looking up. Thanks for watching this episode of Show Space. It takes a lot of energy to send these videos out into the cosmos, but luckily our supporters help us do it, and you can be one of those supporters. Learn more at our support page.